DC in the Bay Area. Windy day, it's getting hotter, and we're about to see, in my opinion, a little bit of both momentums, right? And unforced errors are being a little quite high in this MLP just because the condition, Marshall. Can you agree on that?
Absolutely. Even when the wind is 5 or 10 miles an hour, it affects the pickleball so much. So I don't know what the gusts are right now, but they're more than 5 or 10 miles an hour. So unforced errors are going to be high. It's going to be who's going to grind the points out more is what this match is going to come down to. Who's going to make more balls?
Right. Right now we have change the side. What a great hands there by Humberg. And yeah, I mean, when I wake up today, I saw the forecast and I saw 20 miles per hour wind. And I said to myself, this is going to be some legit pickleball we're going to about to see. Who can handle, who can be flexible, who can have the ability to be okay with the mistakes, right? Because sometimes that's something that a player can feel. It might take a little more of what they would like emotionally.
Oh, the nice left-handed overhead by Andrea Koop, and Maury had a decent look at an overhead and just happened to shank it.
It's a meal. Everybody's taking the Florida Smash strategy to start loving more now.
Yeah. Good speed up by Alix there. Keep in mind that speed up is never supposed to, be a winner. It's never supposed to win the point. It happened to win the point, but that was not the goal. She was trying to just set her or herself or her partner up for an easier next shot.
And Danna, I think that she wanted to continue to speed up. Unfortunately, when you are doing a hand battle, it can go either way, especially if you're able to have the first uppercut on the first shot being aggressive enough.
Yeah, Danna is the newest player of these 4 ladies, and I believe she's a local from Austin.
She's local,
and she's got a lot of talent. She's got a great two-handed backhand that you can tell she's definitely trying to utilize. I'm excited to see how far she gets in the game.
So on that shot, the decision to go and speed up cross court, for the audience that are really trying to get better, what do you think are the pros and cons of doing a speed up from the ground cross court?
Yeah, it's risky because your opponent's going to have a lot more time just because the path of the ball is longer, so the opponent has more time, but it might catch your opponent off because it's kind of a rare shot at the pro level.
I like what you said about the rares.
Funny enough, one of Mari's favorite shots is the backhand, flick across the court, and mine as well. So it's like some players love cross-court speed-ups, and others will literally never hit one in their entire career.
I'm seeing yours. I'm a fan when I'm not playing against you.
Yeah.
So just putting it out there for everybody to know.
Yeah.
So 3-1 right now. I think the team's starting to kind of identify potential action plans and how they're going to be able to implement them during the course of this game. Sometimes you're waiting for the ball to come to you and the wind shifted, and now you are totally in defense on a ball that it should be a one-on-one in your perspective. And I think for viewers, they would like to know how they can adapt to a windy day, understand the importance of movement.
Yep.
The paddle cannot move without the body, so when you feel that ball is coming at you and it's windy, think about that ball moving away from your point of contact, so you physically have to move in order to keep the same distance.
Yep, I think I'm actually a great example of that. I don't know if y'all were watching about 2 hours ago, but I was the guy who missed 3 returns in a row when I was on the side that the DC team is on right now, and it's because my feet were just not moving. I was not set up well for the ball, and I missed 3 in a row in the net. So footwork's everything in the wind. You have to be set up for the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Normally that ball would have been about 3 feet out, but the wind made it a very close one.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one.
I bet they're going to end up challenging.
They don't want to challenge. They still feel they're too early in the game. But going back to your feedback, you know, it's really important that as a player, you're able to share what is going through your mind, because I believe that there's a beauty of the community in pickleball. You know, it doesn't matter your level. You know, I think that we all struggle with similar things, you know, and I think that one of them is the emotional component. And, you know, you're playing a Dreambreaker. You know, it's not that you're just playing, you know, 1-1, you know, local tournament. So definitely the pressure is different, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah. In my opinion, I think it's all about reps. I think if you find yourself getting really nervous, you know, in a competitive environment, then you need more reps of doing that. I think if you find yourself not playing well in the wind, then I think you need to put yourself into, you know, and to get more reps of that. Like, for example, I play in a covered facility. I do not play in the wind very often, so when I find myself in the wind, I really don't feel as confident. So I really need to force myself to play in the wind more.
As around, we are in MLP presented by DoorDash in Austin, Texas. We have DC is 6-3 up on serve. Solid shot from Truong.
So with the side change, now the Bay Area Breakers will have the wind behind them, so you're going to see a few more putaways on their part, just because they have that extra bit of speed behind them.
Now you were playing, you're with the Nashville Chef. Against the wind, let's talk a little bit technique. Let's talk a little bit about point of contact, follow through. Do you think that when you have the wind against, you should stay longer on your shot, even though you are wanting to get into the kitchen, but do you want to stay because of the importance of being able to continue that progression forward?
Yeah, I think that when I have the wind behind me, I think that I'm a little bit more tentative, and I try to hit really, really soft drives or just really soft drops. And I think when I have the wind in my face, I feel a whole lot more comfortable because I know I can really let loose without having fear of the ball going long. So at that point, it's really just, can I make sure I get the ball over the net, because it's not going to go long. So I think it's just two very different mindsets. So at the side change, it's like you got to be very adamant. Like, okay, here's the plan here. I'm going to take some off, or I'm going to add a little extra power.
4-6-2.
6-4 point for the Bay Area Breakers. And you know, unfortunately, when you have the wind with you, if you choke in the paddle on a dink, it's gonna pop up, right?
Yeah.
So for our listeners, if you have from 1 to 10, 10 being squishing the hardest, and this is a kudos to my coach, Maria Lopez, which has always been telling me the same, try not to squeeze the paddle too hard and keep it on like a 4 or 5. That way you're gonna be able to absorb the power of the dink and be able to control it. And now we gotta change the side. 6-4 for 7-4 for the DC, and they're coming in hot, and the wind is picking up here, Marshall. I hope they don't take us with them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're taking it. Gonna have to wait a little bit for the court to be cleaned up. Wind is
Yeah, I think it's important to differentiate the experience level between these two teams on the ladies' side. Like Mari Humberg has been playing, you know, Premier last season with the fives. You know, playing with Anna Lee, playing with Will Howells and Zane. Like she's seen the best of the best. And Andrea Koop's been obviously a veteran and OG of the game. She's been playing at the highest level for a long time. As compared to Alix Truong, who did play Premier last season. But her teammate Danna, you know, she's kind of new to the scene, so I think a lot of this match so far, you know, 7-4, it's still a tight game, but I think a lot of it is just comes down to experience. They've got a lot more reps on the DC side.
Yeah, that's a backlog shot, but you know, it still is something that they're gonna have to, and that's part of the game, right? Sometimes, you know, the net is such a part of especially because they're trying to hit the drives so narrow. Keep it so low. Sometimes it takes That's a really nice scratch in there. I like how DC's having fun. They're laughing, they're enjoying it, and they just came from losing against you guys in a Dreambreaker. So the thoughts about saying, you know what, we're able to come on top, but we're still here and we want to continue to have a good time. And I see that, you know, it's being, what do you got?
Time in, 9-4-1.
9-4-1, guys.
5-2-1.
Great two-handed backhand by Danna there. You can tell it's definitely her favorite
That's
shot.
what she needs. She needs those points so she can build her confidence. I think you said, you know, she has a great game, but this is are the points that she's gonna allow her to feel that she belongs.
Yep.
9-4-2.
The official eyewear of Major League Pickleball. Shot range picked by your favorite MLP athletes and customize your players on
Just a little deep. It was set up extremely well, but I really think it was just a matter of the wind pushing it just a few inches deep.
So what can be done? So do you say maybe do the same movement at 60-50% to have the same outcome?
Yep, everything just dialed down just a hair. Wow, good angle from Alix there. Normally Mari is the one who is really tripping girls up, but that was a great shot. She holds the paddle so well and then flicks it at the very end going cross.
That's a good eye. Right now we have it's 10-4 for DC. They still are on serve. And as you mentioned, Marshall, you know, it's just a little details here and there, especially such a quick type of 11-point game.
Yeah, it all happens so fast. Sometimes I'll try to look back after a match and be like what actually happened there? And I can recall, you know, a few of the points, but you really have to watch them back to really get down into the details of what's happening in just one game to 11.
That's gonna be the first game to DC Pickleball. They are taking 1 point, and we are about to go into the men's doubles. I think overall was a really clean game. All right, we are back in MLP, presented by DoorDash. My man, Marsha Brown. We are having a great time. JMA here. Shout out to my people in Richmond, Virginia. I'll be home in a couple days. I hope the weather is great, just like here, because what a great weather we got so far. Hot for you because you're playing, Marshall, and I'll be here in the shade, having a good time. How you doing so far?
Not like it as much because he is sweating like crazy, but it was great to play with him. He had that floor literally filled with sweat, so I haven't seen anybody else sweat that much, which is nice. These four players are. This is gonna be a really good match. We got DC versus Bay Area Breakers. My boy Eric Roddy and DJ Young versus the two players that just beat me and my teammate, Stefan Auvergne and Daniel De La Rosa.
We got left in the house. This is really good for me. I can continue to develop my game here and understand the patterns as a lefty. So we are 0-0 for everybody who's joining in. DC won the first women's doubles, so they're 1-0 up.
0-0-2.
And you know what's interesting, Marsha? You know, you are part of the team, and then they ask you to come in and play, and you know that takes time to adjust to the win right away, right? So I see that a lot in the beginning, a lot of unforced errors just here and there, and I think that. What do you think you can tell people when you're starting to play just out of the bat like that? Are you looking for placement, or are you looking for a big spots right now?
I mean, shoot, starting out, big spots, to be honest with you. You just want to kind of get a feel for things, first couple of points. You know, you got to think a lot of us are warming up inside and then coming outside to play, so it does take a few points to adjust everything. And when you have just one game to 11, that beginning, you know, those first couple of points make a big difference.
That's a great insight. I got something to show you right now. If you see DJ right now, he's playing with a different pattern.
1-0-2.
Yes, he is. He's playing with the Yola, and let me tell you, he's one of the most fun players to watch when he is really feeling his game and when he's moving and when he's hitting funky shots, I really enjoy watching DJ Young.
That's a really good change up there. Don't you miss the good old days in pickleball when the paddles were not powerful? You like the power that is happening for these paddles right now? Putting you to the spot right here, no pressure.
No, I very much miss the days where paddles were not scary and you weren't really worried about getting your eye knocked out. So I'm very much anti-hot paddles. But everybody's got an opinion on it, and I'm just here doing the best I can with what I have and making the best of it.
Right,
Good speed up by Stefan there. It was kind of an off speed. It wasn't a super hard speed up. I think DJ expected it to come a lot faster.
Is it hard, and then, you know, this is a question for you because I'm a lefty, so when you see a lefty speed up, is it usually is it easy to read it, or is it takes a little bit of time for you to be able to understand the pattern coming from a lefty player?
You know, I actually train almost exclusively with Rafi Hewitt, so I feel very comfortable with lefties. But I'm sure a lot of people that just train with right-handers are thrown off a little bit by lefties.
2-2-1.
That's a really good high ball finish. 2-2 the game so far. And as we've seen that we have a lefty and a righty, right? The book says that you know, you have two forms in the middle, and you know, everybody likes that. Now tell me what you think is, I'm not gonna call it negative because I don't believe in negativity. Tell me what are the challenges by having a lefty and a righty as a team? Are there any?
What a hand battle.
We just saw it, right? Is that interesting? We're trying to talk about the good thing, and we just saw 4 forehands in the middle, and it was like meant to be from both players from DC. But I really want to hear your feedback.
Yeah, so I would say the tough part is, you know, imagine you have 2 right-hand players and the ball lands in the middle of the court. Almost every time the guy on the left is going to take the forehand, so it's just kind of easy. But then when you have a lefty and a righty, it's like you got 2 forehands in the middle for that shot right there, for example, and that one right there again. So it's like, how do they know that Daniel De La Rosa is going to take that and not Stefan? So it's tricky. It's just, you have to communicate extra well with your partner. But honestly, the benefits of having 2 forehands in the middle are outrageous, because especially like in this situation where you have 2 good drives from Stefan and Daniel De La Rosa, the other person can crash every time. As compared to 2 right-handed players, where if the left side guy takes the drive, the right side guy is going to have to crash with their backhand, which might not be very powerful.
Right, and we just saw it now. Now, it's important for people that are hearing your feedback is when you're talking about crashing, and right now it's 4-2 for DC, and I just jinxed him. But that drive has to be in a specific place, because if you're going to crash and the person hitting the drive hits in the wrong way, now you expose, correct?
I would agree. I will say that one maybe small difference of opinion there is, as long as the drive is low, I don't think there's really a super bad spot. If the ball is high and then you hit it to the guy who's already at the net, you're gonna lose that point probably. But as long as the ball is low, you can set your partner up no matter where you hit it, as long as that ball stays low.
It doesn't have to be that hard, right?
Correct, absolutely. Actually, I'm finding the slower the better on a drive to give your partner more time to crash. And yourself, if you want to crash on your own third.
Absolutely. Right now we have a shift here. Bay Area takes a couple points. They have the momentum, the energy is on their side. This is getting better and better here, Marsha, and I want to see it all. Let's see what's going to happen on this point.
What a crash by DJ Young there.
He's pumped out. And it's interesting, right? Because, you know, you can see there's certain players that really enhance their game when they're loud, and other players that actually have to be like more consistent by their emotions, right?
Yep. I would say Eric Roddy and DJ Young are two that come to mind that really need that energy, and DJ would have gone wild if that went in. But Roddy loves getting wild, and same with DJ Young, so they make a great team when they're on and feeling good and being loud.
That's great. So 5-4-2, 6-4, no 5-4. There we go.
Nice. MLP is really all about energy. I mean, who's bringing the energy in line at a higher percentage and really get the point started from there. But in the wind, it's a tricky thing to do. So you're going to see a lot more people driving the ball in the wind just because a drop will be affected by the wind more. So maybe just partial drives from both teams just to get themselves up there and have an easier chance at a easier drop. Just like that right there. That DJ just barely missed short. So keep in mind that Bay Area breakers, Eric Roddy and DJ Young, are playing with the wind in their face now. So it's going to be a little bit easier for them to hit it in the net if they're not extra cautious and get the ball a little bit higher.
That's a really good hands there. And you know, it's very interesting when you say that, because I wrote a book about data and trying to be able to understand myself when it comes to playing and keep it all that in one place, which is my brain. Sometimes we feel that even though you are defending, you are attacking it, and you're saying something important. You want to get into the kitchen. You want to get into the 50-50 scenario, right? Which both teams have an opportunity. For the people that are hearing us, you know, that drive is helping you get there, but it's not a defining shot, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I'm hitting drives to either set up a crash or to set up an easier drop. But the drive is never really meant to get fully to neutral in the point. It's just easier for me to make a drive and then have an easier drop on the next shot. Good energy by Roddy there, really trying to pump his team up.
And I see that, right? I see that the positivity and the energy is such an important thing when you are playing to 11 points.
Yeah, you've got to be positive in MLP. If there's any negative energy, you're going to affect your teammates.
7-5 on serve.
All 3 points in the standings, defending their home corral here. And I got the fellas standing by. Jess, congrats. Eric, I'll start with you. Are you also...
Wow.
That's a really good shot. It looked like he had it for a little bit. He kept that paddle up a little longer, and then at the end he was able to do like a little flick there, and everybody was just there. And it's a timeout, and I think it's the right time for DC to take it. Right now it's 8-5. Bay Area is really pickleball, minimizing downforce servers and looking for opportunities to score. And I just jinxed them.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, Marshall. I don't even know what to say anymore.
That's another example of the wind being in their face too. It's like you gotta hit the ball hard. It's hard to miss long when you're on the side of the Bay Area breakers right now.
All right, so let's talk about this for a minute, right? You know, both teams make an unforced server. How can you let that go and think about the bigger picture, right? For a lot of people that are playing reg or they're playing, competitive, sometimes they get too hard on themselves. What is the good option here, emotionally?
I would say a good option, actually the only option, is next point. It's just the mentality of the next point is the only point that you have control over. What happened in the past is gone. You cannot affect it. It's already happened. So next point is all you can focus on, and if you're dwelling on the past, you're probably going to lose the next point. So you better forget about it and move on and just try to win the point right in front of you. Good little poke by Daniel De La Rosa there, showing off his quick hands. He's still the #1 racquetball player in the world, is he not?
I don't know, but every time I see him, he just looks on point. And it's interesting to see the different types of styles. And I think that's the beauty of pickleball. You don't have to come from a racket background to be able to play quality pickleball. This is the first time that I see DJ going with a lob.
6-10-1.
And I think that, why not, right?
Yeah, it was a good idea. Just the execution was just a little off, but I really like the idea. Good hands by Roddy.
That's really good, Roddy. And interesting, we just changed a couple minutes ago, and they just took a big, they got hot, and now they're 10-6.
6-10-2.
10-6. What a good serve.
Wow. DJ did a great job of taking that ball from Roddy. You know, anytime your partner is hanging back after a really good serve, it's like you got to protect your partner a little bit and cover a little bit more middle. So good job from DJ there.
All right, so we are at 10-6. Game point. Breakers. Oh,
wow.
You saw the point before, he looked like he was doing some moonwalking. You don't know. Yeah, he's trying to replicate that, DJ.
I wonder if he might challenge it.
He wants to challenge that.
I can't imagine ever looking at my opponent's feet during a point. That's wild if he got it right there.
I mean, that was pretty good balance there. So for everyone that is hearing it, presented by DoorDash, we just heard our beautiful national anthem. What a beautiful, beautiful song, and you know, proud to be an American. So, wow. And that's it. That takes it.
Bay Area wastes no time, closes it out 11-6. Really good game. They were down pretty early on and made a great comeback. Incredible. I've never had a wing that good before.
Oh my goodness.
Good reach from Stefan there. He's so long and he holds his forehand really well. You can't really tell where he's going to go with it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to call out. I, you know, as a former lefty, you know, I'm a lefty, so you know, usually the natural feeling is to go cross court, but he was able to wait a little longer and see what the player was going to try to protect the space on the court, and then he went down the line.
Yep.
And we got the first point of this mix. 1-0 DC on serve. That was a poke there, and then the ball kind of hit the net. And I feel that when the ball hits the net in this specific court, don't you feel that it skids a little bit and kind of kicks you?
Yeah, what a massive gust of wind right there, too. Yeah, the wind plus, you know, a couple bad bounces is tough. It's tough to deal with, but we're all dealing with it, so it's still a fair game.
Right, you can see that Danna took that initiative to kind of speed up right to Humberg. Oh yeah.
You know when Roddy is grunting loud that he is feeling himself.
1-1-1.
That was a good D from the DC, you know, the Bay Area still on serve 1-1, and the wind is picking up. And we're gonna have to, as a player, knowing that the wind is picking up and it's moving, Marshall, what are the options? Are we gonna start playing more offensively, more defensively? Are we gonna be more neutral, bigger spots? What is the course of action here?
Man, if you're the Breakers right now, you're hitting the ball literally as hard as you want. I promise you, if they hit a ball long while this gust is going on, I'll be surprised. So Roddy and Danna are just hammering away and just trying to get the ball back and to keep the point going. And then on the flip side of that, Humberg and Stefan are just trying to keep the ball in from going too far. I mean, it's a pretty strong win right now.
Right. That's a great shot. Now, can we, having the win on your side, can we, as a player, adjust by maybe taking a couple of steps back,
2-1-1.
right? So that might help you a little more of flying time and allow that ball to kind of drop. Is that a thing that people they're hearing us right now? They're having that issue when they're playing with the wind, that they can use that as a little tip.
Absolutely.
I feel right now we're playing a little bit of kind of like a dirty pickleball, right? There is no patterns right now.
Yeah.
They're holding on the ball as much as they can on point of contact. They're really trying to defend with anything they got. But do you think right now it's going to be more of a movement to be able to continue to be accurate with the shots?
Yeah. I mean, it's all about movement in the wind. Like Roddy could have taken a couple extra small steps there and gotten into better position.
3-1-2.
Movement is key in pickleball. In the wind, though, it's the most important thing. A lot of net cord so far. Wow.
That's a really good shot. It is a totally different Bay Area breakers than we saw from yesterday. I think that, as you mentioned, you know, they're because the events are so short when it comes to each game. They're players that they need to get those reps, right, to be able to feel they're getting the groove of things.
Yeah.
And I think right now, you know, Roddy's giving himself a feedback about moving his wrist a little faster to create a little more control and spin.
Yeah, so this is the third MLP event of the season, but this is the first event where all the challenger teams are playing. So we're all still just trying to get kind of a feel for the team and the new partnerships that we're forming here. So it's a great first event just to get a feel for everything.
Now, what's going to happen with MLP during the course of this year? Are we going to have some changes, some rosters? Do you know some about it? I think people are always looking into, you know, how this, you know, during the course of the year is evolving.
Yeah, there's a couple waiver periods where teams can make some trades and, you know, trade amongst teams or just pick up somebody that's not currently on a team. So, yeah, there's a couple periods. I don't know exactly when those times are, but I'm sure some changes will be made based on performances of these first few events.
I know a guy, he's playing really good pickleball. He's actually from Richmond, Virginia. You know, I don't know if you know him, so they call him JMA.
He's a great player.
Thank you.
I've played him multiple times. He's improving quickly, too.
I'm going to let him know when I see him the next few days. But right now, we're 4-4. What a great pickleball we've seen. Oh, that's a great D.
Good job from Mari Humberg to cover after Stefan, you know, crashed onto her side of the court. We're tied at 4-all.
4-4-1. 2-1-2.
As we get along this match and your, you know, vast knowledge of the sport, how can people that are working on their game can actually work on the emotional component? You know, a lot of people talk about, hey, you're gonna put the reps in, you're gonna work on it, but you know, we've seen that some of these unforced errors, it comes from a decision making based on an emotion, right? So how can you, or how can people that are listening can actually work on that, knowing that, you know, that's not an easy way to find answers, right?
Yeah, I think the underrated aspects of pickleball are both mental and emotional. So on the emotion side, I really think the mentality of next point is the only way to go about it. And on the mental side, I think it's a pretty complex part of the game, and everybody's gonna, you know, make some changes in their own ways, but confidence is huge. Positive self-talk is huge.
MLP Austin on their way, 6-4 breakers on win.
Wow.
I
Good
gotta
job
tell
by
you,
Danna
I
there.
am really happy for Danna. You know, from the beginning of this MLP Austin, you can see how her game is developing, and we all want that for people that are playing for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, as a community, you really want to embrace, and that's it. You know, Brody as well. You know, low that drive is and you know, now if you're hitting good contact with the wind, you're talking about 20% more power, right?
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So the fact that he can keep that in and also have time to almost crash his own third is really impressive. He's got a lot of speed. And going back to Danna, her game actually reminds me a lot of Alix Truong. She sits backhand and then she reloads and smacks another backhand. It's very similar to her women's partner, Alix Truong. Good lead by Mari there.
Right. Now, let's talk about some of the items that, you know, I feel that it will be good to start sharing with our audience. Let's talk about the physical aspect of pickleball. You being here, you being enough to know that it's evolving, it's being quicker, ball, paddle, everything, the game himself. What do you think about the fitness component? Is players are getting more fit? Is it because of the paddles, the game, or do you think for the people that are playing for, you know, recreative, do you think that they should be putting the time in on the gym as well?
I think at the pro level, fitness is becoming more important every single day because there's more and more tennis players that are at their peak athleticism that are converting over. And if the current pickleball players are not keeping up with that, then they will get left behind. So I think it's massive, and it used to not be a big deal, but you made a good point. Now that paddle technology, you can spin it more, and you can just get more out of pickleball shots. The more athletic player is going to have an advantage. They can earn you more. They can crash on their own ball more, like a la Christian Alshon. So it's massive. And anybody not focusing on fitness is going to fall behind to a certain point.
That's a really good point, and you can see that a timeout is taking place, and the reason why is because DC is getting. Let's take a look.
Fans, I've also just been informed.
Oh. Is that emotional? What your thoughts are?
I think it might be a little bit of nerves. You know, it's harder to dink under pressure than it is to speed up. So she might be experiencing some nerves there after a timeout. And Mari let that ball go, no problem.
I think this is what I like most about pickleball. When you get to that 8-8, 9-9, that you definitely have to become more disciplined, become more self-aware. Like you said, right, grind a little bit to wait for the right shot.
Yep.
That's such a good drive. Set up that crash there to Roddy. And that puts them on the lead, 9-8.
6-3-1.
Oh, wow, that stays in
Oh,
with the help of the wind.
That got in? Oh, my goodness.
And just a bunch of spin. Really good shot from Mari when she needs it the most. The difference between 10-8 and 9-8-2 is a big one.
Wow, what a great shot.
Oh! That's going to be a close one. They are going to challenge that for sure. Roddy is convinced it was in.
They're going to challenge it. And
oh, it's so hard to tell.
I don't even know what to tell you. Forward.
The outcome of the return of the ball was in. Lost for free challenge.
It is in, and what a time for breakers. I'm gonna have to speak in Spanish on this. Dios mío, what a moment. All right, Marshall. I'm gonna tell you the score is 10-8. The crowd's going crazy. The moment is on DC side. That's a truly tough shot to do when you got the win against yourself. So what do you think they can do right now?
Just try to dial in, try to get this point. Every point is so important once we're deep into a game like this. Great hands by Roddy.
Yeah, that shot was a little bit too predictable.
So they'll get the ball back and have two chances to close out the first mixed match and take a 2-1 lead over the DC Pickleball Team. Oh, got him right in the chest. Great win from Bay Area Breakers there. And if Bay Area wins this match, then they'll close it out. And if DC wins it, then we'll be going to the Dreambreaker. So we'll see what happens.
Game 2, time in. Side out.
And you know, one of the things that it always tells is the first point and the action after it. And you can see that DC is not waiting any time. They want to get into it right away. They need this game to force. Oh, Dios mío.
Point.
Now, I still believe that's a good decision to be made, right? I mean, you really want to be that player to look for opportunities. I mean, should you stop doing that, Marshall?
No,
okay.
I love it. I love it. Obviously, he probably touched a toe on the line, but it's good to show him that he's got that shot.
Second serve.
trying to poke here and there, trying to look for opportunities for forcing that error, and I think that that's just what happened. They still 1-0 up in second serve.
0-1, side out.
Let's go, Andrea. Let's go.
0-1-1. Second serve.
Good move by Daniel De La Rosa there. Almost any player is going to flick that backhand, you know, towards the middle of the court or the left side, but to get it going to the right side through DJ Young off there.
So Marshall, yesterday DJ was playing with a different paddle, and be able to come in a new day playing with a different paddle, the adaptation will take place. It seems that he actually playing better with his paddle. What's your thoughts on making that, you know, that quick move into something to gain a little more control?
Yeah, paddle changes are very tough. You know, as long as it's a pretty similar paddle, the adjustment period shouldn't be too large, but going from one paddle that has, you know, a very different build than another one is very tough, and for me, very mentally kind of draining, to be honest. So to do that during a tournament is surprising. That was not the shot that Andrea wanted to do. I'm not sure if that was a lob attempt or just a pop-up, but it does happen when this wind's involved. It's easy to make mistakes like that.
Right, now I can see there is a lot of, they're really trying to pull a lot of things in this strategy from the breakers that really like to slow things down, and you can see that she's trying to pull it too high, right? And because they're down 1-0, they definitely, you know, they really want to get out there and start, you know, getting themselves situated.
0-1-1.
Still 0-1.
Point.
You know, I think a lot of viewers would watch a match like this at times and be like, I could do that. Like, I could play at that level. I think it's important to note that, for one, we've talked about the wind a lot. The wind is a big factor for sure. The pressure is a big factor, and also the serves are really tough. These people are serving very hard, very spinny. It might look very easy to return, but I mean, I missed 5 returns in my last match, so I get it. Yeah, I think we might have a challenge coming there. The ball was going to be 10 feet out, and the ball is in, then the other team will get the point and not lose their challenge.
The outcall stands. DC loses 1 free challenge. You have 1 free challenge remaining. Bay Area, you have 2 free challenges remaining. You're resuming play at 2-1-2.
So the outcall stands. They did not have enough evidence to overturn it, and Bay Area remains up 2-1.
2-1. Now, this is an important time of the game, right? You ask for a challenge, you don't get it.
2-1-2.
Still, you know, 2-1 down.
Wow. Good job from Alix Truong there, backing up DJ.
Not only that, she took by that, you know, that point, regardless of seeing him taking the shot, and that was able to defend that ball that already passed him and get them 1 more shot to stay alive.
And almost happened again as well. I'm with DJ. I love playing a very aggressive left side and mixed. So I love it when my partner is always ready for the ball to come past me, even when I reach for it. So shout out to Alix for the attempt there.
1-3-1.
Love the 2-handed backhand from DJ. He does really not hit many of those. That's kind of a rare shot for him.
Now let's talk a little bit about one subject that I think that, you know, it's started to evolve in the course of this sport and it's growing. Coaches. What are your thoughts about, you know, some teams have coaches, some players have coaches, some players have coaches that travel with them on the tour. Do you think that that's going to become the norm, like it happens in other sports, that a pickleball coach should be required as the level is becoming so? These players are, so good, and the level is becoming so, even. Do you think that's going to be something that is going to start taking a more of a priority for these players?
Yes, I think over time, more and more players at the highest level will have coaches, because a lot of times it's very easy to kind of be so focused on the match and not see some pretty obvious things that would help. So yeah, I think more and more will have coaches down the road. So another controversial call, and we might end up with another challenge. We sure will. DJ seemed pretty confident that it was out.
Is that a challenger?
Yep, we will proceed to video review.
All right, with the outcome of this.
4-2-2.
Okay, we are watching a little bit of the review of the ball. It's kind of hard to see. Don't you think, Marshall? We really are trying to understand from the perspective of the referee what they're looking at, but it's just hard.
Yep, that's just one of the downsides of pro pickleball is tough. The call was overturned. Ref determined the ball was in.
All right, well that helps, especially for DC. They're really trying to get back in this game. Now, so going back to the coaches, yeah, you're actually right. You're definitely going to need somebody that is there to actually not only to train you, mentor you, but at the same time kind of guide you. And I think that it's going to be something that will allow players to have more options when they're playing. Because what I'm seeing, and I don't know your thoughts about it, is I see that a lot of players coach between themselves when they're playing somebody else. What is your thoughts on that? It might be controversial for me to ask, but I just want to get another perspective from another top player.
Yeah, honestly, I love asking, friends of mine if they have any insight that I could utilize when I'm about to play somebody. So there's a lot of resources, to be honest. You can go watch video on players, which is not a perfect solution because players change their game all the time. So what might have worked in that one situation might not work the next time. I think DJ might have gotten a little bit in his head about the foot fault call there. He didn't want to do it again.
That's right. That's right. So I think we got a ball game here. Things are shifting. 3-3 now.
5-3-1.
What a great point. Unfortunately, it was a little wide, but this is exactly what we want to watch from these players, right? That battle, that necessity of accomplishment that they're trying to put on every single ball. I really enjoy that, and I think everybody who's listening and watching, they're in the same boat as I am.
Good hands by DJ there. It's very important for a left side player to sit forehand in the middle because odds are that is where the ball is going to come.
Jordan is out here with full packs of every flavor they got. And
I like that. I like that feedback. As being on the left after speed up, most likely ball will come in the middle, be ready as a forehand, right? Because so what you're trying to say is to kind of already had a previous understanding of what most likely, based on the percentage, what the ball might come.
Yep. And then if it does come to your backhand, you should theoretically have a little bit more time just due to the path of the ball being longer. So And the opposite is true when you're on the right side. Is most players have more success sitting backhand, and if the ball comes to their forehand, they'll have more time to adjust and get it over to the right side of their body.
Now, would this apply when you have a lefty on court?
Opposite is true with a lefty, for sure, yeah. But really, it's like you always got to be ready for the middle on a hand battle. So whatever the forehand or backhand it is, whatever's in the middle, that's what you have to be ready for.
Things are getting spicy on this court, and I can sense that they're really now going to the motion of every ball has a thought process more than just power, but really looking for that specific spot on the court.
Really good point there. These ladies, Alix and Andrea, are so solid going forehand dink. They could literally go forehand dink all day. So, but at some point, it's like one of them has the option to speed up the line and initiate the hand battle, and that's what Andrea did so successfully there.
Right. So we are 5-3. DC up.
Wow, what a two-handed backhand dink from DJ Young there, and he is pumped up. I love how wristy he is.
With the win.
Maintaining your alcohol. New Jersey 5 challenging the alcohol by Dallas Flash. Result for Roddy is slide out 4-6-1. Will now proceed to video review.
Wow, good play by DJ. A really impressive tomahawk shot in the middle of that point.
I'm gonna work on my tomahawk. I mean,
It's a good shot.
I still want to be able to have a wrist that is healthy enough for the years to come, Marshall.
It does require a healthy wrist. Very healthy and flexible wrist.
On that, and I think that's expected, right? You just change from swinging as hard as you can to right now having to minimize that swing path. You have control. It's 4-1.
Another example of the wind playing a major role in this match here. Good move by DJ to jump the kitchen line.
It's a really good readout. You know, he was able to see it and take the advantage of his height. Now, when you're doing the earning, you're gonna try now for the ball to come back, right, Marshall? They can't come back because you're already given the position after that.
Yeah, I mean, if it does come back, you're definitely at a disadvantage being in bad positioning. I've noticed when I can find the forehand on the Ernie, like DJ just did, it rarely comes back when you get a good hold of it. But at a backhand Ernie, it oftentimes does come back and the point continues on.
Now, what do you think it makes sense to hit those shots when you're doing an Ernie? Is it based on the player where he stands or she stands, or there's a default shot they should always think about when you do an Ernie?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think everyone's a little different. I am much more comfortable hitting a cross-court Ernie, so jump in the kitchen and flicking a backhand cross. But like I said, a lot of times the ball does come back and the point continues on, and I'm a little out of position. So it's a work in progress for me, for sure. Some people are really good at it, and some people will literally never hit an Ernie, and that's okay. What an angle.
Oh my God. Such an important shot to be made, especially going backwards. All right. The area is taking a couple points and it's getting closer to tie this game. Still 6-5 for DC.
So just to put this game into perspective here, DC was up 6-3 at the change, and it sounds like that's a major advantage, right? But they got up 6-3 when they were on what I'm going to call the good side, and now they're on the bad side. So it's tough sometimes because the rest of the game, DC is stuck on the bad side, and there's still a lot of pickleball to be played. So the side is very, very important when there's a wind in your face or behind you.
That's the second ball that he had right in strike zone.
Yep.
But at the same time, Marshall, you don't want to stop doing that because that is a legitimate opportunity. Just maybe a little more of a, space between ball and net, not too narrow because of the wind.
Wow, what an incredible anticipation from DJ there, and just a loose wrist to flick an inside-out forehand Ernie winner. I can honestly say I've never hit that shot before. Have you?
That's not an easy thing to do. I don't recall, but I'm gonna look at and ask my coach if he ever see me doing that, so I can have some confidence in myself moving forward. But the reality is, don't you think that it's an advantage for players that actually have a little more length than others to make shots like that?
Yes and no. It's everything is about pros and cons. So there are pros to being tall and long like DJ, but it also means you've got a bigger body, so you're gonna be potentially targeted more on your body, and it's hard to get out of the way. So it's pros and cons for everything. I think that someone about 5'10" is actually the best height for pickleball, to be honest, or even maybe a little bit shorter. Because reach is nice, but it's also nice to be kind of low to the ground and hard to attack.
7-up. This cannot get more fun than this, Marshall. 7-7.
This is what it's all about.
Right, which is change side. 7-7. The wind is kind of spiking a little bit, and this is DC turn to decide, and is speeding up quite hard here, Marshall.
Yeah, if you look at the video, you can't see any clue that there's wind at all, but it's howling. Wow, that's a great example of when you're a little tall, when you're a little, on the taller side, on the bigger side.
I gotta say, people that are listening they must be so excited the fact that every time we bring an item to talk about for their growth and learning about the sport, then someone does something that we can say, look, that's how exactly we're trying to give you back as players that are at this level.
Yep.
No!
So even though you have the wind with you, you have to make sure that you don't push the ball, because
Yep.
then it will fly. So a little bit of wrist movement will be a benefit for control.
For sure, but like Daniel's known for just a very flat drive, so the side that he's on right now is definitely not his favorite side either.
9-7, they turn it around, Marshall,
Yep.
and they're 2 points away to witness another Dreambreaker.
Wow.
All right, timeout. They want to see that Dreambreaker, and he's about to.
Wow. Yep, that's not coming
And
back.
there you have it.
Is he stirring the pot?
What happened?
Daniel De La Rosa, I think he's stirring the pot. Great win by the D.C Pickleball.
I know.
All right. So finish your thoughts here, Marshall.
And then he beat me 3-1 again the last time,
He
so
did play
he's a
well.
good player.
He did play well. I'm going to tell you, he did play well. Couple of shots there, two-handed cross court back into the air.
Yep, but Eric Roddy is a great singles player himself, so this would be a good matchup right here. Yep, I didn't do that like Roddy did. Great cross court shot from Roddy.
One zero.
Yeah, he didn't do that against me. Another good serve from Roddy there to go up 2-0. The first few points really just sets the tone for the Dreambreaker.
2-0.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
insane.
And that
Very
is
clutch.
that is the thing that it really helps a team, when you have someone that actually can play singles at a really good level, because it guarantees that every point is going to be played. Oh
Wow.
my God, he's going to make it.
Go. Oh, good try, Roddy.
Good job.
A great start, though. 3-1 for Bay Area Breakers. Stefan is, again, a really solid singles player, so that's a good start from the Breakers there.
Now we went from playing and only obtaining a point on serve, and now everything counts. Now different feelings, don't you think, Marshall? Different
Absolutely.
emotions. Now
Yep.
everything really counts.
1-3.
All right, so now we've got two players that really don't compete in singles very often. Daniel De La Rosa has played just a couple singles tournaments, and DJ plays a decent bit but doesn't focus on it in his training by any means. But still an insanely good shot maker, as he just showed. And I love the energy that he brings to his team. Him and Roddy are really pumping this team up.
5-1. Tight out, point 2.
And you know, right now a big lead in a Dreambreaker can definitely help you, because if you start adding points by each team and it has a little bit of gap at the end of the day, well, you still have to finish on a serve, right? But you know, the importance of.
Wow, that bounced about 10 times in the kitchen.
My goodness. So let's talk about it, right? So people say you're a singles specialist, and then you go to a Dreambreaker, and then you play against somebody that they say, well, he's not a singles specialist, but anyone can get a point.
Yes,
So
yes.
the pressure from both sides, one that doesn't feel like I have nothing to lose, and the other one like I have to win all my points. How
Yep.
do you navigate that?
Oh, I mean, I didn't do it very well today. I felt like I was supposed to win 3-1 every time, and that didn't happen. And even though Stefan doesn't play singles, so I understand that pressure. It's tough. But thankfully, my teammates stepped up, and we closed the match out anyway.
I'm gonna go to the dark place.
Challenging their in ruling. The in ruling puts us at 3-6. We'll now proceed with video review.
So it is an in ruling that is being challenged here. I'm still not sure who made the in ruling.
See Trump there on the court. What's going on there?
It's a good question.
All right, we're gonna wait for the challenge to be reviewed.
Okay, so I'm assuming Danna is calling that ball in, but now challenging that in ruling.
Yeah, I think we can see a little bit of that review of the ball.
And good for her. If she's not 100% sure that that ball was out, then that is a fair thing to do. Call it in and challenge it. And if the refs has enough evidence to overturn it, then they will overturn it.
After video review, the in-rulings overturned. The ball was out.
There you go.
You maintain your free challenge. Resume play with the area breaker starting at 7-2.
All right, Marshall, we're in this together on this one. What's going on?
7-2.
So we're at 7-2 now instead of 6-3. It's a big swing.
And we talk about it, right? So we talk about it. Well, how to strategize playing singles on a Dreambreaker. Of course, you know, we're playing, there are males and females playing, so it's a kind of different, you know, strategy. But we spoke about just to put it over the pressure, wait for the right ball to come in and then force that, you know, that passing shot that I think at this point, you know, the emotions is a big factor for that accuracy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
For sure. I mean, I would say most women kind of stay back and just play mini tennis out there, and who's going to, you know, miss a ground stroke first. But here comes Mari Humberg coming to the net, forcing her opponent to hit a passing shot, and it didn't pay off for Mari there.
Right. I mean, you know, it's interesting to see. I saw Danna playing in Atlanta, and I think she's a really good singles player, and good to see her, you know, feeling comfortable on this Dreambreaker and getting some points in.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. And we talk about it, right? I think that Alix is really saying, you know what, if you want to win this, you're going to have to pass me.
Yep.
And because you have this lead, that can definitely give you that opportunity to be a little more aggressive, knowing that you have a little bit of a buffer.
For sure.
Oh, that's a great grass court shot.
And that's the risk of coming to the net, is a lot of these ladies have great, you know, placement on their ground strokes, so that's just the risk that you take by coming forward.
4-10.
All right, so we're getting some point in. It's 10-5.
5-10.
What do you think is going to be the mindset now coming from the DC? A little more aggressive here, Marshall?
That's the big question. We'll see how Roddy reacts to being, you know, up 3-1. So lost the first point there.
I mean, they have the win, right? Maybe a little more
7-10.
on the serve.
Wow, what a passing shot from Roddy.
And you know, Roddy has historically, and I've seen her play against him, such a great two-hander back.
Time in. 11-7.
Nice. It looks like he was going to flick it, you know, cross court, but he held it inside out. Really good shot. You know, funny enough, the first time I ever saw you was when you were playing Eric Roddy in singles. About, what, 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really good match.
It's a crazy match.
And another passing shot near the line. So clutch from Roddy. Maybe one day I'll be as clutch as he is.
DJ on the left.
Just gotta enjoy, you know, this is a celebration for everybody. They get to be able to play a professional sport and the one you love and care about. So kudos to all the players that are really trying to make it.
Good job, bud.
You know what, I like that
Rosa.
strategy.
Yep.
I like the fact that you can say, you know what, I'm gonna come to the net, I'm gonna just drop volley you.
Yep.
And because the win is against, against you basically, then you're gonna have to run it faster.
Yep. Another drop shot. I've had multiple opponents beat me because their drop shot was so effective in singles, which is frustrating. but just effective, and that's what matters.
Especially when the ball is now
14-8.
bouncing.
Yep.
You know, this heat is just making that ball a little more smooshy.
Yep.
Yeah, we
All right.
definitely. Yeah.
Bay Area looking good, up 15-8 here. It's hard to come back 7 points down, but it's been done many, many times in rally scoring with the freeze. Wow, that's an insane shot by DJ. His wrist angle is just so tricky to read. You can't tell which direction he's going until the very last second, and then it's too late.
It is too late, and right now they have a lead of 8 points. Let's see what
16-8.
DC can do right now. It's not over yet.
Side out, point 9.
It's interesting that most of the shots that are coming from the approach shot is going to the backhands of these players, which I feel that they have more accuracy.
9-16.
Yeah. Good job from Mari Humberg there. Let me shout out Mari Humberg real quick. She was one of my first mixed partners when she first came on the scene. And let me just tell you, I had so much fun playing with her. She is a blast to hang around and to play with. Her energy is incredible, and her shot-making skills are wild. She was just about to show it off.
I mean, I think that she'll make that ball in a different environment for sure. I think the wind just took a little bit of that underspin.
Yep.
17-10.
You will not find a girl that slices the way that Mari Humberg slices. Nobody else on tour does it
such
like
an
that.
important shot.
Into the wind also. I mean,
You're getting pulled out of the court,
Yep.
and you're gonna, with the lack of balance, underspin that shot away from the player.
Danna did nothing wrong there. That was just everything going against her. That was just a really good shot from Mari Humberg.
11-17.
Good return from Alix Truong, keeping it deep.
You know, we talk about it, right? And I think I said to you many, many times, you will have more success if you are putting pressure on the passing shot. And the moment is like this one. Come in on everything. That will be me. Oh, here we go.
Smart play from Alix Truong there. Just 2 points away from closing this match out.
19-11.
And that is gonna put them on game point. This can be the first win of this MLP Austin for the Breakers.
And
That seals
they
it.
get it done.
That seals it.
Roddy throws his paddle down. A great celebration from the Breakers there. They are relieved to finally get their first win. Really solid playing. DC's a tough team to beat, and that was